And welcome to Blackboard Basics. We're going to learn today about how to utilize the attendance inside Blackboard Learn, as well as how to access and upload files to your README First folder within Blackboard Learn, and also finally how to use the Grade Center or Gradebook in Blackboard Learn. So the first step is to log into the test Blackboard server. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. I would recommend you do that at some point. You can do that right now if you want to and pause the video and come back to it. But I'm going to go ahead and log in right now. So once you've logged into the Blackboard Learn server, the first thing I would suggest you do is go to the Blackboard Pilot Group Training class. It'll have Fall 2013 after it. So we're going to go ahead and click there. And you're going to be inside the course. So what we're going to do at this point is we're going to access the README First folder, because within the README First folder there are some documents. Now you may remember from the first course, the Blackboard Overview course, you learned how to upload and replace the document that was in syllabus with your actual real syllabus. So we're going to continue on with that and actually upload the other documents: the instructor welcome and contact information, course schedule if you have one, how to be successful in this course. Now you will remember that WATC college policies and computer requirements, like in Angel, also in Blackboard, you don't have to worry about uploading those documents. They're already there for you and will be updated accordingly if we have any updates in the future. So the 4 documents that you do want to upload, and perhaps you only have to upload 3 depending on if you do your course schedule separately from your syllabus, again, are those 3 documents: the welcome, the syllabus, and the how to be successful in this course. So let's do a little refresher on how you replace the document. So if you were to click on the instructor welcome and contact information link, and by the way, because we are on the test server, you're going to get that link that says there's a problem with the website security certificate. Remember, you can always click on continue this website. Even though it says it's not recommended, it's okay. And you'll notice that when we click on that link, it'll bring up a copy of the PDF version with the logo, which is what we call our placeholder. So again, just like in Angel, you want to replace this document with your contact and welcome information. So what we're going to do is, instead of in Angel where when you hover over the link like this, it'll bring up other links below, there is a little box that has 2 arrows pointing downwards, or 2 V's maybe you would say, and they're called a chevron, and you're going to click on those, and you're going to click on the edit option underneath there. Then what's going to happen is it's going to come up with several different options. The one we're going to focus on is where it says file information. So what we're going to do right now, the file that's in there is the placeholder.pdf. We want to replace that with your actual document. So what you're going to do at this point is you're going to click where it says select a different file. So you're going to do that, and then automatically after it does that, it gives you an option to browse my computer. So that's where you have your contact information and welcome most likely saved, whether it be on your documents or on a flash drive. You can access your flash drive this way as well. So I'm going to click on browse my computer, and I'm going to find something to upload in the documents. Again, just for practice. So actually I'm going to go ahead and upload, let's see here. I am looking for something to upload. How about just getting started with the Grade Center? There we go. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to find it. Again, you might have to go to your documents, your computer, wherever that may be, and you're going to click on that. And you'll notice now that where the file name is, no longer does it say placeholder.pdf. It does have getting started with the Grade Center. Unfortunately, one thing that happens is when we add where we want to select a new file or a different file, it does clear out right here the name of the file. So to get that back, the easiest way, you notice I scrolled up, and here it says instructor welcome and contact information. So that was the original name of the file. So I'm just going to type that right back in there. So I'll do that, and then I'm going to leave all the settings besides those there. I'm going to click submit. You'll notice it says success. It was edited, and it'll be a little green bar there. And if you want to, all you have to do is just click the little X there for that to go away. Now, if I click on the link, again, I may or may not get that security setting. In this case, I didn't, but you may get it again. And it came up with, in this case, the getting started with the Grade Center, even though it's really the instructor welcome. So you would have your actual instructor welcome document. So, closing that out, what I'd like you to do at this point is go through, and you can pause this video while you do this, and if you need to, you can go back and rewind and follow the instructions I did for the instructor welcome and contact information. But what I'd like you to do at this point is go ahead and put all your documents in like you would when you're setting up your README first. So this will give you some good practice. Like I said, most likely you did the syllabus already last time when you did Blackboard Overview, but if not, you'll want to go and do that in the syllabus as well. Make sure you do pay attention to the titles of the documents and make them the same when that does clear out in the file or in the title. So go ahead and pause and do that, and I will be back and ready to go with you for the next step of this training after we're done with that. Okay, so hopefully you've been able to go in and update your documents in the README First folder. So pretty easy to do that. Maybe an extra step than Angel, but still it's a pretty good process, and you'll be able to use that when you actually set up your README First folder in Blackboard when you set up your classes next semester. Alright, so our next step that we're going to look at is the online attendance tool, and then we'll finish up with the Grade Center or Gradebook. So to access the attendance, you can actually get to it just like the students do over here on the left in the course menu where it says My Attendance. So go ahead and click on My Attendance. Now, if you click on My Attendance while you are in the pilot group training class, you're going to only see your attendance that's been entered for you, and there may be some, there may not be. So what you're probably going to want to do is at this point, you may want to pause and go to the Courses tab and go to your actual sandbox and click on there, and then go to My Attendance in there. That way you can follow along with me. Okay, but I'm going to go ahead and continue being in the Blackboard Pilot Group training class while you're in your sandbox. So you need to pause and go do that, and then have that up and go back and forth, or listen to this as you're going through. Great, or taking notes. But you will want to do what I'm showing you now in your actual sandbox course. So I'm going to go back to our Blackboard Pilot training class and go back to My Attendance. Alright, so you'll see here, and you might see your name in this list of students because these are all of you enrolled in the Blackboard Pilot class. But you'll notice that I already have some dates set up in my class. But that really is your first step in using the online attendance, is to set up dates. So you're going to go to the Date Setup button, and you have to put in the first date of your class and the end date of your class. In this case, I said August 12th to December 30th. Now, does your class just meet on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays? When does it meet? You get to select that. You can hide non-students, which is awesome because you didn't get to do that in the attendance tool in Angel. So once you've done that, you're going to save the settings and changes, and it'll say your settings have been modified. Then you'll click Return to Menu. So you'll see that now if I drop down, I'm going to have dates all the way back to the first date of class. Now, I don't have any future dates, so when it becomes, today is October 23rd when I'm recording this, so the next class I think is on Monday, so it'll be, let me look at my calendar, October 28th. So on October 28th, you will actually see this as an option as well to enter attendance for. So it doesn't let you see future dates, only the current date or the last date. The most current day, in this case Monday was when my class met, so that was, it's only showing Monday as the most current date. So you'll see here that there are several options to select for each student. In this particular class, I've already entered attendance, but I'm going to go back to when it did doubles because I did the dates again, but it shouldn't do that for you. But I'm going to go ahead and go to September 23rd. You'll notice here that everyone by default is marked present. P is present, A is absent. Instead of tardy or T like we had in Angel, we have L for late. E is excused, and U is unexcused. All right? So you're actually able to see that, and basically everything by default is present unless you mark somebody as absent. I'm going to go ahead and mark myself as absent. Again, note the date, September 23rd, and I'm going to save attendance. Again, it says the attendance records for this date have been saved. I can click Return to Menu. Now, there is another option, and you can actually set up your online attendance to have attendance by seating chart. So you can have like 5 rows by 5 seats. And it'll give you an option to go in and put who goes in each of those seats. And then you can take seating chart as attendance by seating chart, and then you would click on attendance by seat and actually be able to go in and do that. I haven't saved that. Let's go ahead and do that though. And I'm going to put myself in the back. I'm going to put that person there, Krista there, Clovis there, Jeremy there. I'm going to put Rebecca there, Roger or Linda Sessions there, Monica there. So as you can see, I'm just putting in every student. Michelle's going to be in the front of the row because she wants to be a student and sit in the front row. Trish is going to sit in the back and just watch us all. Teresa's there. I'll put Tracy near the front. And let's see. Jim's going to go there. David's an A student, so he's going to sit in the front. And you do have an option to make an aisle if you don't have that. That's another option there, as you notice. We'll put Cynthia back there. Lance here. So as you see, I'm just going through and doing this, and you're welcome to play around as well and do that for yourself. Tara is an A student, so she's going to sit in the front as well. And we'll just leave that like that. So I'm going to save it. It's been saved. I go back to Return to Menu, Attendance by Seat, and you'll see here there's their username, and I can put whether they're present or absent. In this case, if I go back to date, they're all going to be P unless I don't change it. So it's again a way to be able to do that. Okay, so we have how you set up your dates, how you do your seating chart setup if you take attendance by seat, how to do that. Now the report button, what that does is it lets you click on one of the students in your class. I'm just going to click on myself, and you can see here how many times I've been present in class, how many absences I've had, how many excused. And you can see the specific dates where I have a present, absent, excused, or if I were to have an L for late, it would show there as well. So I'm going to click on Return to Menu here again. I can also export this out. You'll notice right there it exports it out as a spreadsheet. So if I want to export as a spreadsheet, I can do that, especially because we still do have to export our attendance out and send that to the registrar's office. You can get that way. Instructions. If you click on Instructions, oh, I have to save my... Okay, all right. I'm going to go back because it's being difficult. I'm going to go back in and I'm going to show you just real quick the instructions. There they are. So if you forget any of this that I've showed you in the online attendance, it is there, and you can have that to refer to as well as this video. Okay, at this point I am going to go back to our class. So I'm going to go back to courses and go back to the Blackboard Pilot Training Group. And we're going to talk about the Grade Center now. But what I'd like to do is like to talk a little bit about some of the things that are in the Grade Center. If you click on the Grade Center there, it's in the control panel. Again, Grade Center is the same thing as Gradebook. And you're going to see there's an area that says Needs Grading. You're going to see there's an area that has assignments and tests. These are what are called smart views, and we'll talk about that later. But if you click on Full Grade Center, that's going to give you your gradebook as you have it set up within your Blackboard course. Your students, again, like an angel, are automatically preloaded. And you'll notice that there's some color in here, and we'll talk about that more later. But what I would recommend you do, and you may want to even have it open and looking at this, or even print it out as we're going through this, is under coursework, you're going to see different folders, and there's going to be one for Blackboard Basics. And I would recommend you click on the Getting Started with the Grade Center. It's a handout, and it's going to open up as a PDF. It was the one I did practice with in the Read Me First folder. But this one I would recommend you go and either have it open and looking at it as you're going back and forth between the video and your sandbox course, or have it printed out in front of you as you're watching the video. So we're going to be referring to this Grade Center handout for the next few minutes. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the full Grade Center, and I want to talk a little bit about what you see on this screen. And so on page 1 of the handout, it talks a little bit about what you see in the control panel. Again, like I said, the control panel shows you the Grade Center, just the kind of the heading of that and what's all within the Grade Center. The full Grade Center shows you the full Grade Center, which you'll probably go into the most. Needs grading is an area where you can see just things that you need to grade. Submissions for drop boxes, discussions, things like that. And you can set up things that automatically go there and show up for you, and you can have some different settings for those, and we'll talk about that. Full Grade Center, like I said, has all the columns and rows in the Grade Center. It's the default view of the Grade Center or grade book. And Smart View lets you see specific areas within the grade book, and we'll again look at how to set those up. Okay, so the talks just get a little bit about that on page 1. As you probably can hear, I am also using the handout to guide you through as well, so hopefully you're doing that as well. Okay, so next we have within the actual full Grade Center what they call the action bar. So there's several buttons within the action bar. You have the Create Column button. This lets you create columns. Basically, everything in the Grade Center has a column. So instead of like an angel where you created an assignment within a category, you're going to create a column instead of an assignment. So every assignment has a column. If you ever went to go view your grades in Angel, you would notice that actually the assignment, there would be a column created for it, but they just don't use the word assignments, they just use the word column. So in addition to that, you can create a calculated column. You can notice the options here. You have an average column, a minimum maximum column, a total column, and a weighted column. You'll notice that there is already a weighted total column and a total column already by default in your Grade Center. Weighted column would be if you do a percentage or weight based gradebook. Total column would be if you do a points based gradebook. They're both there in case you want to use either or, but that's what you'll want to do for your actual gradebook. But if you want to create additional columns like an average or a max and min, or another total for just a specific number of assignments, or a weighted column for specific assignments in a category or something like that, you can create additional calculated columns that way. In addition, on the action bar we have the Manage tab or Manage button. In here you can see there's different things. You have your grading periods, mostly used for K through 12, like if you have first 9 weeks, second 9 weeks, or those type of things that they have in the K through 12 school districts. Grading schemas. What is a grading schema? A grading schema is the same thing as a grading scale. So that's where you set up your grading scale for your class, just like you do in Angel currently. Grading color codes, those are where you set up, and you can kind of see here how I have this set up. Again, we're going to watch a video later on that. Categories, you can create different categories similar to you can in Angel, and you can put your assignments or columns in those categories. And then Smart Views, that's how you set up your different Smart Views that you see over here on the control panel. And again, we'll watch a video on that. Column organization, that's how you can organize. So if you don't want a column, you want to make your columns in a certain order and they're not the order you want, or if you want to hide them or make them invisible, you can do that as well through column organization. And again, we're going to watch a video on that. Right? You can also send an email to everybody in your class from here. And there's some other reports you can run if you have some integrations with different publisher content. And then also you have where you can create different reports and view grade history, which we'll talk about as well. So that's getting started with the Grade Center. And that was on page 2 of the handout. What I want to do at this point is look at page 3. So page 3 talks about how you can assign, change, or override a grade. Very easy if you need to enter a grade in the Grade Center. Let's say you're actually manually entering grades for an assignment. It's not for something they complete within Blackboard, but maybe it's a project they turn in or they present in class and you have to do a manual grade in there if you're teaching a hybrid or face-to-face class. So if I want to enter a grade, I'm going to pick on Cynthia Jones here, and I want to give her attendance for week 1. I just click in the box and I type the attendance. So this, I believe, is worth 5 points. So I can type 5 and I just hit enter. And you'll see here, there it is. My 5 points I've entered in there. So it's like a very similar to an Excel spreadsheet. You can just enter grades. The other thing that you can do is you can override a grade, and you'll see here that you can also exempt a grade. So let's say that you had an assignment that you need to override. You can actually go into the view grade details and do that. And we're going to watch a video on that, and we're going to watch a video on how to exempt a grade. So that's kind of nice. Let's say that, I don't know, try to give you an example. Well, I'll give you an example of when we had the face-to-face sessions of this class. We had an instructor that he has 2 groups of students. He has his design students. It's actually Jeremy King, and they do CAD and drafting online, or not online, but in class, and they learn how to do that. But they also have in one class the interior design students take the same class. In his particular class, there are some assignments that his regular design students don't need to have, but the interior design students do. So he thought the best way to handle that in Blackboard through the gradebook or Grade Center would be to exempt those students from having to have that grade for those assignments that the interior design students take. So just an example of how you can exempt a grade. It may come up that you want to do that for different reasons, but that was just one example. Okay, so how do I delete a grade? Okay, so let's say I didn't mean to put 5 in there for Cynthia because I realized that I don't have that homework for her yet. I just click in the box. I can backspace, I can hit delete, and then I hit enter, and it says, are you sure you want to null this grade? So it's kind of a fail-safe. But I'm going to click OK. And there you have it. That's how you delete a grade. We talked a little bit about exempting grades. And you can clear attempts for students if you need to. So, for example, in Angel, right, like if you have a test that the student only can take 1 time, they have 1 attempt, and there was an issue, and you're going to let them go ahead and take it again, but you don't want to make it so everybody has 2 attempts. You can go in and just delete that submission for that student, and it clears their attempt. Here, what you'd have to do is go to the Grade Center and clear the attempt through the View Grade Details area. So that's what you would do there. Okay, so that was page 3. Now, the items on page 4 and 5, and then there's some definitions on page 6 of the handout, really are going to be covered by some videos that I would recommend you watch. And just to save time on the video, I'm not going to include those in the video since those are already there for you to watch. So what I would recommend that you do at this time is go back to coursework within the pilot training class. So you're going to be out of your sandbox and back in the pilot training class, and go to, I wanted to go to the Blackboard Basics. You're going to go to Blackboard Basics, and what I'd like you to do is you're going to see our different videos here, and they have how long they are. Really, they're very short. The longest one is a little over 3 minutes. So I would ask that you watch each of those, and as you watch it, make notes or pause it and go back and forth between this video and Blackboard in your sandbox, and do what it asks, or watch it and then go back and do it. But by all means, go through that. If you have any questions while you're going through those videos, or if you have any questions on anything I've already covered, feel free to email me, call me. I believe all of you know how to get a hold of me, but I'll be happy to help you, and we can even either make an appointment and do this one-on-one, face-to-face, or I'd be happy to call you and do a session with you over a link or go to meeting. So at this point, I'm going to conclude the training, but I just want to make sure you watch those videos. If you have any questions or need any assistance with any of that, feel free to give me a call, like I said before, and I'll be happy to help you out. And happy learning in Blackboard.